Okay, so I'm going to go over how to set up the Timble RTK system. We need a tripod, obviously. You want to set it up somewhere where you got a clear view of the sky. I mean, this is the best I have in my backyard, but normally you would want to set it up somewhere where it's all open. So you've got the two Pelican cases, we've got the Timble battery that powers up the base, we've got the radio poles in there. You are going to need a deep cycle 12-volt battery. Looks like a car battery, but it's actually for marine or RV. It says deep cycle right here. Okay, that's going to power up the radio. So first I'm going to set up the base station. Okay, that's in this case right here. So we've got a tri-rack. We've got the pole here, the extension pole. It's going to go on here. So put that on. Now you got two receivers here. The one that's more wear out, that's the rover. The newer one is the base station. So that's really important. I mean, you can switch them later on, but in the software right now, they're set up so that this is your base station and that's the rover. So that basically just screws onto there. Okay, nice and tight. There is no battery in here right now because we're going to power the base up with the external battery. Okay, so I'm just going to put this up here. So normally you would put a spike or something or set up on a known point. I'm going to just level this up roughly. Okay, and you would center it and everything. Okay, so now the other case right here, that's where my radio module is. So that's your Trimac radio. I will usually set it right next to the base right there. This is your adapter for charging this battery. This is a Timble 12-volt battery. You've got the cable, the power cable basically right here. This is your radio power. This is what will that's for powering up the radio, and the other end goes to the 12-volt battery. Okay, so first I'm just going to power up the base station. You're going to need the Y cable, which is this guy right here. Okay, let me see what's going on. So the Y cable. Okay, so here is your Y cable, the one that has flagging on it. Alright, so one end, you've got a Y right here. So this end will fit into the battery. You've got red dots. You have to line up the two red dots. Plug that in. Okay, this guy will go into the radio. It says the power right there. Again, line up the red, put that in. Okay, and this radio, again, it has you can either set it right on the bottom or you can just set it neatly on your tripod. Okay, so right now I should be able to power this on. There we go. So we got this is the power light, this is the radio light, and that's the satellite light. So basically, if this was a rover and it was in contact with the base, the radio light would flash. But because this is the base station, you're only going to have the power. So green, solid green means you have good power. Right now the satellite light is flashing. That means it's trying to track satellites. Okay, I believe when you get there's different ways it flashes. I'm not sure right now. I believe when you have minimum 4 satellites, then you get a position. This either flashes like that. So right now it's got satellites. Okay, so that's that. Now you've got this Y cable basically. So one end I plugged into the battery and the other end into the base receiver. You've got an extra one that is going to go into the radio, but I'm not gonna plug that in yet, because if I plug this in right now, this radio is going to start pulling power from that radio and from that battery, and I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this cable right here. That's for powering up my radio. Okay. Alright, so again, this is going to go into here. So the power button is in. Okay.